What is up, friends? Good to see you guys. This is going to be a reading in the constellation of Aquarius. So I'm starting off in the bottom of the deck, which you can't see coming at you. I'm looking at you defending your position. This is something that hasn't happened yet. It's up around the corner. Right, so this is also you being at an elevated position, whether this is an elevated position in work or a friend's circle or a relationship. This is also an increase in status. It's what you're working towards, or it's something that's being generated. This is an increase in just the way you live, whether this is money or a better job or whatever that is for you. I'm looking at you defending away people popping up in your life. So I'm looking at, this is like old friends from the past popping up, right? And this is you like defending those away from you, right? So when people in your life are going to pop back up, it's a part of a test to see if you're going to make the same decisions to let those people that hurt you back in your life, right? Keep those people away from you. We need to go forward, not backwards, right? When you do this, I'm looking at the sun coming out. The sun is the highest card in tarot. It makes all the negative connotations around the other cards turn to a positive, right? So this is just learning how to bob and weave our way through life. So whether this is like paying a bill on time, or whether this is family members popping up to ask you for money, or whatever that is, you know, it teaches us. It teaches us, right? So whatever you're going through right now, it's teaching you to help you grow for the person that you're about to become. And this is the lessons that we must see in everything that we go through in life. There are no accidents in this place. There are no coincidences in this place whatsoever. I'm looking at the Hierophant is popping out. There's some type of decision that needs to be made. So there's some type of situation you got going on in your life that you're either stalling on making a decision, or you haven't come to the decision yet. There needs to be, you need to pull the trigger on that, because I'm looking at a blessing coming out of that. It's like the multiverse blessing you with gifts, right? Downloads, situations that happen in your favor. Right? So whatever decision that you're stalling on, you need to pull the trigger. This is also something from the past that's haunting you. I'm looking at there's an absence of a partner, and I'm looking at there's sexual desire that needs to be focused on, right? So I'm looking at, this would be like a partner that not in your life, being single, or whether this is like a breakup. And I'm looking at like the sexual urges kind of popping back out, reminding us that there needs to be a balance to all things, including the sexual energy. Never tipping the scales too far one way. We want to address this and understand why we feel like this, whatever that is for you. Whether we tip the scale to one all the way or back the other way, it makes no difference. All of my cards are flipped upside down and backwards. Interesting. All right. So there's some things coming up for you that are going to happen in your life, and it might seem like it's upside down and backwards, but whenever this happens, it's meant to teach you something. All right. There's some beautiful things that are going to happen because of it. Right. So it's how we respond to things in life. It's how we react to situations in our life. Right. So if you're trying to change something in your life and it's not happening yet, there's a reason for that. So I'm looking at, there's a situation where we're bound in a partnership. I'm looking at the devil energy. I'm looking at I just lost my mic. So I just lost the ability to talk. So maybe if you're in a relationship that you feel like you've lost the ability to talk, whether it's your family member or a coworker, or whether this is a mother, father that's not listening to you and doesn't see you, right? There's an action that needs to be played on that. So this is like a moving away from that energy, right? So this is like being in that energy, and this is you moving off, right? So we need to leave all things toxic in the past. Drop them from our life. Whether this is throwing all of our shit in the car and riding off into the sunset, or whether this is just row in your boat gently down the stream and getting back on course. As you're going down the river of life, you're going to have things pop up that's going to it's going to test you. The things you've learned, also how you handle situations, how you react. I'm also looking at some heartbreak from the past. Needs to be worked on. I'm looking at Gemini energy into Pisces energy. So I'm looking at the moon into the Temperance card. So this is where we learn to balance it out of our emotions. There's some type of emotional force that we're dealing with right now. It's tipping to the anger scale. So whether we need to use to learn to wield this in a positive way, right? Where we learn that anger is a tool. It's meant to teach us. It's meant to be used and harnessed, right? But most people can't control it, right? It's a powerful force that we work with. But when we do this, it tames that energy to where you only get angry when you want to. You never get angry any other time, right? And there's times in life that calls for that energy. This is also learning how to temperance other emotions that are out of balance right now. I'm looking at money popping up for you. Some type of increase in money, or like some type of amount of money that's going to be popping up. Yeah, I'm looking at money that's going to be popping up for you, and it's going to help you get out of this stuck situation. So maybe you're like in a standstill in some area of your life, where we're kind of sitting there waiting for whatever to happen, right? So I'm looking at, bam, out of the blue, money falls from the sky into your bank account. So whether this is getting a deposit in Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, or whether this is somebody giving you a gift out of the blue, I'm looking at this money is going to help you get out of that stuck energy and get off down the road, or whatever it is you're working towards. It hasn't happened yet. It's down the road. I'm looking at 12 on the dice, which it's like it speaks on completion. The ending of one cycle, the beginning of another. This is also the male into the female. The male into the female, the one into the two, speaks on not just the act of sex physically, but also the sexual nature of all things. Throughout your life, your whole entire life is an energy exchange, and that's what the definition of sex is. It's an energy exchange between two things. So you are constantly in a state of exchanging energy all throughout your day, in some way, shape, or form. Sometimes we're just not aware of it. Right? So becoming aware of it, learning to control it and harness it, it's going to give you a huge increase in consciousness, a huge expansion in consciousness. All right. Definitely being guided to hold on. Buckle up, Buttercup. All right. Things are going to get magical coming up for you. Right? Things are going to happen. It might seem like you're in a movie, or it might seem surreal, but we need to stay grounded through this process. You might start seeing repeating numbers, or you might start experiencing things like deja vu. There's many different things you could experience, right? So when we start to really pull back the veil of consciousness and start to understand what this place is, right? We want you to ground out the energy that you're feeling of anxiety. This needs to come out of you, right? So if you're worried about what's going on in your life right now, you need to learn to go outside, put your bare feet on the ground, touch the trees, touch the rocks, touch the grass. These are electromagnetic energy. You are an electromagnetic being, right? So we have to constantly be feeding ourselves electromagnetic energy. We need to see ourselves in a state of abundance. This needs to be highlighted. Right? So this is understanding that we have gas in our car, water to drink, food to eat, all of our basic needs met. All right? Don't be worried about that right now. There's some learning that needs to take place. Some learning that's going to get you to a higher state of living. I'm looking at a pathway diverging. We're going to go a different direction. I'm looking at your guides and your people on the other side sitting back, eating popcorn, watching the shit show, the dumpster fire that we call life. They're laughing at you. It's funny to them. All right. There needs to be some things that is agreed upon with your guides and with your higher self. There needs to be a contract that is forged, an understanding. This is a self-initiation into magical paths. Self-initiation. Whether it's the left hand or right hand path, makes no difference. Right? There needs to be contracts forged so that you understand it and exercise your will to create the world that you want. Right? Not just sitting back letting it happen. Petition for what it is that you want. Write it down on a piece of paper. Light that shit on fire. Set the intention for it. Right? That's setting a contract. Telling the universe what you want. Setting a contract. Right? Talking to your guides about it. Setting a contract. You're wanting something drastic to happen, right? Whether this is a car, a house, a job, a life, whether you're stuck in place and we need whatever that is, right? So there's some type of contract that needs to be written over your current situation. Whether this is going to get a job, I'm looking at some type of interview. So whether this is an interview with the universe, listen, we're hiring right now. We need tarot readers. We need energy practitioners, Reiki masters, holographic healing, whatever it is that you feel drawn to do, to divinate with a pendulum, whatever that is. We are hiring right now. In the next 10 years, it's going to be one of the fastest growing industries is some type of spiritual work, some type of energy work. Right, there are thousands of people that are waking up right now that are looking for answers, right? And so this is where when you do this, when you start reading, you will become a walking ATM. Money will fall from you from the sky. Whatever it is you're being drawn to, if you're feeling guided to learn something, or you want to help people, you want to give back. You're an Aquarius. That's part of it. That's part of your makeup, is to help people. Doing this is you will get the most emotional fulfillment you will ever find in this place. Helping people is where it's at. We are here to lower entropy at all costs. All right, guys. I'm going to leave the reading there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, man. If you like the reading and you want to book a personal session, you guys just shoot me a message, and there's going to be a link in the description that's going to give you my info for my website. You guys have a beautiful day. Enjoy your immortality.